They can dance and they can sing. And they can play Gaelic football. First up were the South African ladies, winning the junior championship, followed by the men, and watched by coach for the weekend Ross Munnelly and Mayo's Aidan O'Shea, both impressed with the skills, style and commitment of a team who stole the show in Bangkok.
Yeah, Ross is over and he's taken that coaching role. There's a few people complaining that they're in the wrong division. They're very, very strong. And I think a few of them even had trials with AFL clubs, so they're in great shape. But it's great to see as well. Obviously, them coming over from South Africa playing and obviously loving the game. And the more we can spread it, the more good it does.
The players fundraised for the trip, which took them 24 hours from Johannesburg to Dubai to Thailand. Commitment matched by emotion at the final whistle.
Definitely, that happened due to the fact that. For some of the girls, it's actually the first time traveling overseas, it's the first time competing in Gaelic football, and they just started practically like 2 months ago, so for them it meant quite a lot.
We're one of the teams that has less players here, but we managed.
Everybody loves you here.
We appreciate the love.
You mentioned the South African ladies in particular. What has impressed you about the way that they play the game and their attitude?
Yeah, they really have sort of a never give up kind of attitude, I suppose, and their athleticism and I suppose just the way that they carry themselves and the singing and the music and the rhythm and everything that they bring. But they've really embraced the whole competition and have really become part of it. It's like as if they're always here, you know, which is great for them to be part of a wonderful competition.
The men's team captivated the crowd with some breathtaking play on their way to winning at their first ever Asian Gaelic Games. But their skills and love for the game hasn't arrived overnight. Can you explain to people in Ireland how you have come to love their game, Gaelic football?
Actually, the love started in 2012. That's when I started to play Gaelic football. Normally, we come from the background of AFL, which is Aussie rules. So it was easy for us to adapt to the game. And since they introduced the game to South Africa, it's very amazing. Every now and then when we wake up every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we can't wait to go to the field because of the love that we have for Gaelic football, which is amazing. I would like to see it growing worldwide, especially in South Africa and as a whole in Africa, which will be very great. And sometimes in future to host World Games as well. That's my wish before. Maybe I hang up my boots, but I don't think I'll hang up my boots now because I love the game.
One of the things I notice as well is that you have respect for the game and respect for your opponents.
That's how it is. You never go somewhere and disrespect anyone. So we were taught that we need to be humble, we need to respect each and everyone that you come across. It doesn't depend whether it's on or off the field. It's something that we were brought up with. So that's something that we need to keep each and every time wherever we go, because it keeps us who we are.
That sounds very much like the Irish and the Irish game. So it sounds like the game, the GAA, suits you guys.
It does, because it shows every aspect of who we are. It shows our athleticism, it shows our ball work, and it's simply because of most of the guys were playing Australian football a couple of years back, so they're from that background, so switching from Australian football to Gaelic football wasn't that hard for most of them.
The way that these guys play the game, their handling, their touches, but in particular what has impressed me, their ability to tackle. They rarely foul and they pride themselves on, okay, you can take a shot and sometimes it goes over, sometimes it can. But they see it as unforgivable not to tackle, not to try and win the ball back. And just their enthusiasm and their commitment to each other is just amazing. They're probably, from what I've seen, the most focused group out here at these Asian Games, which tells me that we have such a game in GAA that can spread worldwide even further, and to be adopted by people with totally different cultures would mean every bit as much to them as it does you or I coming from Ireland.
I had my doubts one time about this global GAA and how we're spreading it. Now I'm absolutely, totally changed. This is the way to go, and Pat Daly from Croke Park said it several times to me in the last couple of years. This is the way to go. God rest him, Joe McDonough used to come. He was the overseas ambassador really for the GAA for years, and in the last couple of years he said, you'll have to come with us, you'll have to really come and appreciate this. And his son Owen McDonough is here, and he came last year for the first time, and he heard all the stories from his father, but he couldn't believe it. You actually have to be here to believe all this. It's unbelievable. Whether I'm invited back or not, I'm coming back.
And there is humility, and there's a little bit of, can I say, spirituality as well. I think I heard yesterday before the game them saying a few words of prayer in the huddle before the game, and they were remembering Rhino's, was it his young child as well? They, you know, there's things like that that unites them, and they feel together.
Absolutely. I think, you know, adversity brings us closer together. There's great strength in this team, you know what I mean? There's no, like, as cliche as it is, there's no I in team, you know, and they really take that very seriously. And you know, things like that, as I said, bring us closer together. They're, you know, strong Christians, you know, and they pray together. They pray before every match, and you know, in many ways, I think that's a great strength for them.
When you see the way that some of the teams actually play the game so well, like the South Africans, who were a novelty a few years ago, but now they are playing serious Gaelic football, what does that tell you about the potential and what can be done?
Yeah, I think you know, the game has enormous potential. It enables, we were in Singapore during the week, and the thing that intrigued the educationalists there was the development of motor skills, hand-eye coordination, left-right. Rugby will give you a certain amount, soccer will give you a certain amount, but Gaelic football will give you a lot. And it will set people up to play sport and to be better people, and ultimately that's what the whole thing has to be about. When people talk about character building, I sometimes wonder, do they really know what character building is about? But this is really character building, the essence of character building at its very best.